Recently, news broke out of branded vehicles of Tinubu's 2027 campaign amidst the hardship and growing insecurity in Nigeria. Peter Obi blasted Tinubu through a post he made via his verified X account. Here's what he said, and I quote, "Distribution of campaign vehicles, profound insensitivity and abuse of trust. At a time when Nigerians are struggling with hunger, unemployment and insecurity, the decision of any government to allocate limited public resources for distributing luxury vehicles like Hilux trucks and Hummer buses as part of the 2027 campaign mobilization is not only insensitive, but also represents a serious moral failure. While ordinary Nigerians are struggling with poverty and hopelessness, those in leadership positions continue to flaunt their wealth by driving brand new Land Cruisers, Hiluxes, and Hummers, treating the suffering of the people as mere background for political theatrics. This tragic misplacement of priorities is unacceptable. Leadership, especially in these challenging times, should focus on providing food for the hungry, ensuring access to healthcare for the sick, restoring hope for millions of unemployed youth, and securing our communities. It should not be about parading luxury vehicles or campaigning for votes. It is disheartening that at a time when children are dropping out of school because their families cannot afford tuition fees, when mothers are dying during childbirth due to lack of basic medical supplies, and when insecurity is tearing families apart, the response from those in power is to purchase and distribute luxury vehicles rather than urgently addressing the needs of the people. This is not governance. It reflects a profound insensitivity and an abuse of public trust disguised as a political strategy. It betrays the essence of public service, which should always be about serving the people rather than staging political publicity. At times like this, we must recognize that Nigeria cannot continue on a path of wastefulness, insensitivity, and misplaced priorities. Our citizens deserve leadership grounded in empathy, prudence, and accountability. Regardless of how bleak the situation may appear today, I firmly believe that a new Nigeria is not only necessary, it is possible." End of quote.
I have been saying it all along that APC is very afraid of the coming 2027 elections, and this is a clear example of what I have been talking about. The purchase and early distribution of campaign vehicles by a ruling party, even when the election is still in 2027, may appear like strategy on the surface, but when you look deeper, it actually shows panic. Yes, at first glance it might look as though APC already has everything worked out. That may seem true when you consider all the defections that are currently going on. Almost all the state governors in Nigeria are now in APC. This creates an impression of complete dominance, as though the party has successfully taken over every important space in the political system. The National Assembly, for example, now appears to be nothing more than an extension of the executive branch. They openly sing Tinubu's "On Your Mandate" song right on the floor of the National Assembly, which is honestly very shameful. It makes Nigerians wonder if that institution still maintains its independence or if it has just become a stage for political praise singing. Many members from other parties have also defected to APC, adding to the illusion that APC has already locked down 2027. The judiciary is not left out in all of this. It also appears to be acting like an extension of the executive branch. Just the other day, they were seen singing Tinubu's personal song to him. This was not only shameful, but very embarrassing for Nigeria as a country. The judiciary is supposed to be neutral and above politics, so when it behaves in such a manner, it raises serious concerns about the health of our democracy. I can go on and on about many things that, on the surface, will make it look like APC is already fully in control for 2027. However, when you take a deeper and more honest look at the situation, you begin to realize that they are actually not sure of themselves when it comes to that election. If they were truly confident, there will be no need for all of this desperation and overcompensation. One major way to know that APC is afraid is their clear obsession with destroying opposition parties. If they really had everything figured out, as many people assume, why are they so focused on weakening the opposition? Why are they actively involved in everything that is causing instability in other parties? Both the Labour Party and the PDP have openly accused APC of sponsoring and fueling the chaos within their ranks. That alone says a lot. For the fact that APC currently controls most of the governors, dominates the National Assembly, and seems to have influence over the judiciary, yet they are still uncomfortable with the existence of a strong opposition, shows that their power is not as solid as it appears. It is all a display, a form of posturing. They show strength on the outside, but inside, there is clear fear and uncertainty. This is exactly what I have been talking about whenever I mention political posturing. They look bold and confident in public, but their actions reveal otherwise. So, as members of the opposition, people should not be moved or intimidated by this so-called show of strength and dominance. It is mostly an act. Deep down, they are scared, and that fear is what is driving many of their recent actions. What I strongly advise the opposition to do is to put aside personal ambition and ego and come together as one. They need to form a strong and united coalition. After that, they should field a strong southern candidate who has genuine grassroots appeal and real acceptance among the people. Once that is done, they can then use their combined party structures to support him fully. The opposition should not be too focused on who can win a primary election. Instead, they should focus on who can win the actual general election. There's a big difference between the two. What they should be discussing is a consensus candidate, not necessarily a primary candidate. They need to understand that this election is bigger than individual political interests. It is about the future of Nigeria. And when you look at things deeply and objectively, one name stands out clearly: Peter Obi. He already has the momentum. He has the mass appeal. People believe in him, especially the ordinary Nigerians who are tired of the old way of doing things. He connects with the youths, the middle class, the poor, the educated, and even those in the rural areas. That kind of wide support is not easy to find. Therefore, if the coalition is truly serious about winning in 2027, they should strongly consider making Peter Obi their consensus candidate and then use their collective strength and structure to support him fully. This is not about party pride. It is about strategy and reality. At the same time, they must also find a way to properly checkmate INEC and ensure true transparency in the electoral process. How exactly they are going to achieve this, I do not know. That is for the political strategists and leaders to figure out. But one thing is clear: they should not blindly trust INEC the way many people did in 2023, no matter the reforms or promises that may be announced. In politics, you must always be alert, observant, and prepared. And the truth is, despite all the noise, the show of strength, and the intimidation tactics, APC's actions reveal one simple truth: they are afraid of 2027. And fear, more than anything else, is what is driving them right now.